What about the fact that I'm not getting paid to record these lectures? What about the fact that I have to give these lectures out to the public and then anyone can take that course content that I created and use it to teach another course or to... Alright, this is a broad issue and we need to talk through it in great depth, probably personally, before we can get to the bottom of it for you. But let's talk about some of the issues at hand here. What about the fact that I'm not getting paid to record these lectures? Well, what are you getting paid to do? Is it to educate effectively? Probably. Alright, but that's a platitude. Here's the point. You spend time outside of class preparing for that class. Before every time you have to go deliver a lecture, even if you're a veteran instructor, likely you review the content. If not, perhaps you would ought to. But anyway, you're recording videos in advance, and they are of the quality that they're going to be. The lecture quality that you deliver doesn't change based on how flustered you are, or how much your mind is on some other topic or some other work that you have to do. This time is spent once, and then you have a product that is of high quality and you deliver it in class. Otherwise, you're spending perhaps smaller amounts of time than to record an entire video lecture over many, many different occasions so that you can prep for class and present that lecture. Over the course of years, this time adds up immensely. So record your lectures once, and then yes, you are getting paid to do that because that's all of your prep time going forward. Of course, there are other preparatory things to know what kind of content to cover, to deliver exercises in class, but all of that still adds up to probably less than you're going to spend just prepping for lecture in those courses. And you have a more effective process. So when you are getting paid, you're getting promoted, you're getting considered for an award or something, it's going to come down to the effectiveness, the quality of your education, and not your own education, but the education you provide to other people, and that's going to be advantaged by this method. Now let's look at the other side, the more economic. What about the fact that these lectures then could be taken away from me and they could be used for someone else's class who didn't put the work in? Fair enough. You've probably had this concern before. What if I have some sort of amazing activity that I develop, and then I have a falling out with my organization, or my organization just says, you developed that here, that's our property. Well, you're going to have to work that out with your organization, but the same problem could be the case for these videos. But another way of looking at this is, what about the fair use of some sort of document that is copyrighted somewhere else? We know that we can put these into our learning management systems, and as long as only the students enrolled in the course can use them, and they can only use them for the terms of the course, there's no problem of fair use in most circumstances. See your intellectual property and other law departments. But the same thing could be true for these videos. I could host my videos in my learning management system. I could make sure that they were available only when I wanted them to be, and they were available only to the people I wanted them to be, that is, within my course when people are enrolled in the course. I choose not to do that. I'm a transparent instructor. I want both all of my students who've been enrolled, the students who are enrolled currently, my department chair, anyone else who's interested in seeing these videos, to be able to see the quality of instruction that I'm providing. That's a decision that I've made. You may make a different decision. The other question that arises here is, well, aren't these things less secure than the lecture content that I present in class normally in a synchronous sort of way? Well, maybe not. If a student decided to record the lecture, or if somebody had a video camera in the course, they would know what I was saying in class. If that makes you uncomfortable, that may be worrisome to your instruction. The fact that if somebody could record out what I was saying, that would be a liability to me in some sense, just as here, if you record what I'm saying, that's a liability. Again, I'm not concerned in that because I'm happy to put all that I do in the face of the public and say what you will about this. This is what I do. I am accountable for this. If you're worried about that, again, maybe the issue lies with the kind of behavior in which you're engaging and not so much in the transportability of those materials. So back to the question, I'm not getting paid to do this, and what if somebody runs with these activities? It depends on how your department works, it depends on how you interact with your organization, it depends on what belongs to whom, and you'll have to have those conversations. The point is, this is not as glaring of an issue as you may think. You can make these things more protected, and they're as secure as the lecture content that you would present in your class normally, and the amount of time that you spend building these is probably going to be less than the amount of time that you spend prepping for your class normally.